Good morning, dear tutorial mates. My name is Marco Moreno Herrera. For this stage, I choose the lesson 2, which is factors to consider when designing materials. Well, the material shows us 6 different factors that we have to consider or to keep in mind when designing materials. The first one, and the most important for me, is the learner. Yes, we have to keep in mind our learner and their needs when we are going to design the material. The second one is the curriculum and the context. Obviously, we have to keep in mind the goals that we have to achieve in the learning process. The third one is the resources and the facilities. Well, that's kind of obvious because we have to take into account which resources we have, what are we going to use in our lessons, and well, where is the facilities, because we can consider digital or an audiovisual resource when we don't have a projector for that, for example. The fourth are the personal confidence and the competence. Well, this is a kind of difficult in some cases, because for this we have to maybe have imagination and motivation to design material and well, to create new material for our students. The fifth is the copyright compliance. That's mandatory thing by laws. We have to recognize what is the author or who is the author of a material we use in our classes. And the last one is the time. This is kind of advantage and disadvantage because, well, as you know, designing materials takes too much time because, well, that's a real hard work. But well, we can make that by groups, by groups of teachers, so the ideas can get better and well, the materials can get faster, or well, we can create the materials faster in groups or working by pairs, something like that. In that way, there are some teachers that prefer to design their own teaching material rather than use existing one. Perhaps teachers cannot meet all the students' needs using a standard material designed, so they, instead of simple using already designed materials, they prefer to modify resources found in central storage or in the web and adapt them to their class, to the lesson they are going to take. In that way, commonest material used and designed by teachers are the worksheet, including exercises created by them or just already designed by others. Other one are the songs, the videos, the presentations, the slides, the course book by editorials, the games, the flashcards, among others. Obviously, there are many different materials, but these are the commonest. In this slide, we can see 4 of the commonest material used by teachers. I think in my experience, I have seen a lot of this material in classes. On the left, we have the worksheet. These are used for teach and for evaluating the learning of students. We can see that this material is used to vocabulary. For example, the numbers, the shapes, the colors, the animals, the vowels, the letters, as you can see. And well, as I told you, this is for teaching and for evaluate, because well, it has exercises in it in the worksheet. Another common material used are the songs. The songs can be useful for teaching vocabulary mainly. As you can see, these are a song used for teaching the days of the week. Well, I have listened to too many songs to teach numbers, months, professions, animals, well, vowels, the common vocabulary that we have to use in daily routine. And obviously we also can take advantage of popular songs like pop or like rock and metal maybe. As well, in that songs, in some, for the Beatles, from recognized bands, we can support on them to teaching common expressions, idioms, maybe particular tenses or something like that. Okay, and the third common, well, I think, material use are the flashcards. Well, they are mainly used in for teaching to children. As you can see, this is well, basic vocabulary, the professions, the fruits, the animals, the vowels, the letters, the colors, the shapes, the clothes, well, all the vocabulary that children or well, people acquire in the basic stage. Okay, and this other material use for me is very important, which are the games. The games, obviously, a game is fun. Well, most of the games are funny. So and they can in the web, or maybe we can create a lot of different games to use in children, in teenagers, and also in adults, for adult people, as we can in using games we can practice what the students can practice what they have learned, and in that way they are going to feel motivated to learn, because they realize that they can use what they have learned, the vocabulary, the tenses, what the sentences that they have learned, not just for a quiz or for an evaluation or for a paper. They realize that they use that sentences, they use what they learn in real life, in games. Well, for kids, as you know, they love games, they love to play, so it's very important to use games. I consider this is a very good material for our teaching. And well, we can find many different games, but we can adapt them to our classes, obviously, because of the space, because of the maybe the materials that we have to use in that game. And we can support on a game to create a new one for our learning goals in our classes. In that way, as a reflection, I consider the main factor we have to be mindful when designing or choosing materials for teaching lesson is learner. That's for me the principal factor, that we have to keep in mind what knowledge students need to acquire, what vocabulary they need to learn for specific situations, what learning styles they have, what activities can be motivational for them. Well, many different reasons can I give you, but we can find many different teaching materials for a specific topic in the web, in textbooks, in central storage, but not all of that materials may be appropriated for our students. As I told you, there are different learning styles and not every material applies to all the students. So as teachers, we must adapt that material to our lessons in order to achieve goals proposed by the curriculum, and obviously to get learners success in learning process. Thank you so much, dear mate. This was my presentation. Have a nice day.